While preparing the marriage bed, I found traces of an unknown liquid on the sheets. This was my royal bridal chamber. My mind went completely blank. Using the crystal mirror communication spell, I initiated a call to my fiancé. Surprisingly, the call was answered instantly. The one who appeared in the crystal projection was not Cedric, but his lady attendant, Isabella Montrose. She smiled with seductive confidence and blatant arrogance. Very well, this man. I don't want him anymore. Where's Cedric? Tell him to answer the call. The crystal mirror was connected by Isabella, and I froze for a few seconds. But I quickly regained my composure. Isabella deliberately examined the bridal chamber behind. Then she puttered twips into a nail.
So Miss Charlotte is in the bridal chamber?
The new bed is so soft. I already tested it for you. It felt as if all the strength had been drained from my body. My head buzzed violently. I stared at the woman in the crystal image without saying a word. The groom is pretty impressive too. I tested him for you as well. Only then did I notice where she was. It was a noble guest room in the castle tower. Suppressing the fury in my chest, I forced myself to stay calm. Where's Cedric? Isabella deliberately glanced toward a certain direction before pretending to sound troubled. Young Lord Ashford is naturally busy handling military affairs. He's very occupied. The next moment, I heard the familiar voice. Instant. It felt as though a holy knight had cast a binding spell on me. My lips parted, but no words came out. You just wanted to trick me into bathing with you in the sacred spring. As she spoke, Isabella made a triumphant look before cutting off the crystal mirror communication. All the strength left my body. I slid onto the cold stone floor as anger and heartbreak swallowed me whole. After sitting there for who knew how long, I let out a quiet laugh and threw the bedsheets into the wooden waste barrel beside the fireplace. While I was decorating our bridal chamber, he was sharing the forenoon bath in a kabiber, sharing the sacred bath with his lady attendant. I knew Isabella wanted to ruin my wedding. She succeeded. I sent Cedric a pigeon letter. Cedric, let's break up. The wedding is cancelled. I picked up the gilded carved figurine of the holy married couple from the table and tossed it into the wooden trash chest. I smashed the noble wedding portrait hanging on the wall. I destroyed the bridal chamber I had decorated with my own hands. I sent cancellation letters to our relatives and noble guests, then extinguished the crystal lamps and returned to my old residence. Once everything became quiet, I forced myself not to think about all the years I had spent with that knight. I drank until I was completely intoxicated, letting alcohol drag me into sleep. The next morning, violent pounding on the door woke me up. Outside stood Cedric and his entire squad of knight retainers, all dressed in polished armor, looking perfectly respectable. The bouquet of night roses in Cedric's hand had already fallen apart. Seeing that I had obviously just woken up, he exploded in fury.
Charlotte, are you out of your mind?
The twisted expression on his face was so ugly that I actually found it a little amusing. My smile only provoked him further.
Do you have any idea that today is our cathedral wedding?
I rubbed my eyes. Being disturbed while suffering from a hangout was incredibly irritating. Didn't I already tell you? We're not getting married. We're breaking up. Can't you understand that? His eyes turned bloodshot, as though he were desperately suppressing his anger. Finally, he squeezed his eyes shut for a moment before gritting out.
If you change into your wedding gown and come with me right now, I'll pretend none of this happened. I'll forgive you this once.
How on earth had I ever given him the impression that I was hopelessly devoted to him? I simply took my feelings seriously, yet he assumed I couldn't live without him. My gaze swept over the knight retainers behind him, whose expressions all carried varying degrees of amusement. Cedric, the one who did something wrong is you. Do you really want to discuss your relationship with Isabella Montrose right here? Get out. We're finished. Understand?
Cedric fell for a moment before his expression changed dramatically.
all his previous arrogance disappeared. His eyes shifted uneasily, but he didn't leave. And instead, his tone softened.
You misunderstood. It's my fault. I should have explained everything to you beforehand. You can punish me however you want afterward. But today is our cathedral wedding. It's the most important day of our lives. Our noble relatives and guests are all waiting for us. Please stop making a scene and come with me first, okay?
He shook his head with a bitter smile, his Dacus Moriabs, his eyes sincere, making it seem as though I were the unreasonable one. This man changed faces incredibly fast. He knew exactly when to bend and when to stand firm. Seeing the accompanying knights all looking at me with disapproval, one noble knight who was especially close to Cedric stepped forward to persuade me.
Your Highness, today really isn't the time to be stubborn. After the cathedral wedding, you can handle this however you will.
Excellent. Cedric wanted to roast me over the flames of noble etiquette. Then I'd happily grant his wish. Only, whatever happened next would be entirely his own doing. Fine. Wait here for a moment. After washing up, I simply put on an ordinary noble gown before leaving.
Where are you going to change into your wedding dress?
But I refused every time. His expression darkened, yet there was nothing he could do. Inside the cathedral hall, only guests from his family were present, although my relatives didn't know what had happened. They already knew that I had canceled the cathedral wedding. When they saw me arrive dressed like this, the nobles' gazes immediately became meaningful. Several noble ladies couldn't help whispering among themselves.
A cathedral wedding is such an important ceremony. How can she simply choose not to show up? Only young Lord Ashford could tolerate this. Anyone else would have broken off the engagement already. Exactly. So many vassals and nobles have been waiting here. If she didn't want to marry him, why wait until now? All right.
Lady Ashford took my arm, led me to the seat of honor, and gently urged me to sit. There wasn't the slightest hint of displeasure on her face.
My dear child,
We couldn't reach you and were terribly worried. Did Cedric? Hoa so, sell us, and we'll stand up for you. Duke Ashford was equally kind and gentle.
Yes. We're all on your side.
The Ashford family had always treated me well. Marrying into their family meant never know about faction disactions. Lady Ashford was an exceptionally graceful elder, and the Duke was famous for his kindness and generosities. But Cedric had betrayed me. There was no possibility of forgiveness. For a moment, I remained silent. Lady Ashford simply assumed I was still upset.
Charlotte, listen to me. Go change into your wedding gown first. Afterward, I'll make Cedric apologize to you properly.
Yes. Don't delay the cathedral ceremony.
I let out a long sigh. At that moment, I truly wanted to calmly explain everything to the Ashford family and peacefully end this engagement. But someone's arrival interrupted me. Isabella Montrose entered wearing a flowing crimson silk noble gown, elegant and charming. She smiled faintly, her gaze openly challenging me. Her exquisite makeup contrasted sharply with my plain appearance. The crisp rhythm of her high heels against the stone floor drew every noble's attention.
I'm not late, am I? Miss Charlotte, happy cathedral wedding?
I smiled as well. She looked beautiful, dressed entirely in red. She looked exactly like the heroine of today's wedding. Without hesitation, Isabella walked straight to the seat of honor and sat beside me in the place that should have belonged to Cedric. Then she took off the necklace around her neck and put on a new one, and I couldn't help staring closely. I looked more closely. I had thought my heart had already frozen completely, yet somehow it became even colder. It was a diamond ring, identical to my own holy wedding ring. I had designed it myself. There was only one such design on the entire continent. Now it had been made into a necklace and rested around Isabella's neck. I couldn't help feeling angry. I clenched my fists tightly, forcing myself not to lose control. At that moment, Cedric entered together with the cathedral officiate.
Bride isn't wearing her wedding gown? A red dress works too. It's very beautiful.
The officiator had obviously mistaken Isabella, dressed in a crimson gown with flawless makeup, for the emotional bride. He nodded approvingly. Isabella glanced at me, then hurriedly waved her hands as if embarrassed.
No. I'm not today's bride. Miss Charlotte, please don't misunderstand.
Cedric strode over, his expression dark.
Why haven't you changed into your wedding gown yet? Do you even care about our engagement at all?
As he spoke, he reached out to grab me. Lady Ashford quickly stopped him, rebuking him.
Cedric, watch your tone. Why are you being so harsh?
Isabella stepped forward at the perfect moment.
That's right. Miss Charlotte is just feeling emotional. Young lord, just comfort her. Don't let this delay the cathedral ceremony. Cedric became even angrier. Standing before all the nobles, he seemed completely fed up. He pointed at me.
Charlotte, your stubbornness has limits. Go change your clothes right now!
Isabella stood up, gently patting Cedric's arm as she soothed him softly. Don't be angry. Let Miss Charlotte go change.
I'll accompany you in offering apologies and toasts to all the guests.
You'll accompany him in toasting everyone? Why don't you just finish the cathedral wedding with him too? I no longer intended to keep up appearance. It was obvious this matter couldn't be settled peacefully today. Without hesitation, I raised my voice and announced, my apologies for giving everyone such an embarrassing spectacle. Today's banquet will proceed as planned, but my engagement to Cedric is officially dissolved.
How long are you going to keep making a scene?
Cedric glared at me furiously. Isabella looked anxious, even stamping her foot, her high heels striking the stone floor with crisp sounds.
Miss Charlotte, please don't misunderstand. I only wanted to help entertain the noble guests. I meant nothing else.
What a classic scheming little hypocrite. I folded my arms and watched her performance coldly. You didn't just help me toast the guests. Didn't you also complete my holy wedding ceremony for me? Isabella was clearly satisfied with my reaction. A flash of triumph appeared in her eyes, before instantly turning into the expression of someone terribly wronged.
Miss Charlotte, you've truly misunderstood me.
Smack. She certainly knew how to act. Unfortunately, I had no interest in watching any longer.
Charlotte, have you lost your mind?
He immediately pulled Isabella into his arms, protecting her completely, as though shocked that I had actually struck her. Isabella's large eyes brimmed with tears that threatened to fall, pitifully leaning against Cedric's chest. Her tears soaked into his noble attire. Perhaps those tears burned him, because the way Cedric looked at me made it seem as though he wanted to kill me.
Charlotte, you've gone completely insane!